What is good, big dogs? We are back this week. Last week was actually in New York City. Traveling back home here to Akron, so missed last week, but we are back, and we are back in a big way. Football is back. A lot of craziness going on in the streets right now with the Chargers game that just took place. How is everybody doing today? We got people in the building. We got Jacob here. What's good, Jacob? How worried are we about Mixon? Me personally, by the way, he gave me a year. It wasn't just me yelling again, although I might just do that, just yell again. I'm worried about Mixon personally. A lot of miles already. Guy that was going to be cut, and then the Texans basically traded a late-round pick for him, although, secured a contract. All those miles plus the foot injury, the frustration, I'm very worried personally about Mixon. I feel like it's probably a little bit too late to get out, so to speak, if you have shares. I think the going rate's probably like a third, which at that point, you might as well hold. So I'm very worried, though. We got Matt Higgins in the building. Big dogs. Phantom Bowling. We got everybody here. Sun God. Bet. What's good, man? What's good, everybody? Saturdays are for the big dogs. If you want to be a part of this stream, make sure you go check out the Big Dog membership at bdge.co. Also, make sure you go check out the draft guide for all your redraft leagues. Nick just put together the draft guide, just launched on bdge.co. So make sure you're going to check that out. I'm going to get to questions, though. Woody Marks. I'm kind of curious to see how it shakes out. Nick Chubb looked pretty rough last year, but, a year removed from the injury, we'll see what kind of role he has. As you can see right behind me, I cursed him, put the jersey up, and tragic injury that season with the Steelers. So I think Woody Marks, though, definitely arrow up for him. I don't know how quickly he'll potentially take over the role, but definitely an arrow up for Woody, big Woody. And yeah, you're right, Phantom. Chubb's arrows up. Sun God, what's going on with you, man? How you doing today? Talk to us. How we feeling this weekend, my guy? I'm feeling fantastic, Matt. How are you feeling? He's in. Matt's been getting into some Devy leaks. Shout out to the OG days. Used to do content with Ray Garvin and the team over at Destination Devy. So we've been talking some Devy college player discussion. I'm feeling great though, man. It's good to be back. Last Saturday was tough. I wanted to do the live stream, but I was literally going to be on my way on the subway, so it just wasn't going to work. So we're back though, man. It feels really good to be back. Waddle to the moon. Yeah, Waddle. Things are looking better, definitely for Jalen Waddle. So the bounce back could be real, especially with not just Jonnu being out, but is Tyreek Hill. I think Tyreek Hill is going to be a big piece too. Does he have a bounce back season, or is Tyreek kind of fade into oblivion? Let me know what you guys think though. Are you? I hope not too much, if at all. But are you buying in to the Trey Lance stuff, and are you buying into KeAndre, Lambert-Smith? Let me know what you guys think of those. Oh, damn. I got COVID, so I got more time on my hands for fantasy. Yeah. I actually, right before the season last year, so I was getting ready to go out to the office in New York City for week 1, and the day before my flight, I had been feeling sick as hell for like 2 days, and sure enough, took the test just to make sure it didn't want to affect anybody, and sure enough, I had it. So it sucked, but yeah, all you can do is kind of isolate yourself, and it can get a little crazy. You're isolated in a room looking to make some trades, get a little wild. Keenan Allen, oh man, I'll say this: I kind of hope, for everybody's sake, I don't want Keenan Allen to go back to the Chargers personally. He's someone that Justin Herbert has rapport with. He's a target hog, so to speak. If you have Keenan Allen shares you're holding on to, you just want him to get signed anywhere at some point. But I don't think this would be a good thing really for any of the weapons, a lot of the young weapons that the Chargers have. So, and it would affect, yes, it would definitely affect KLS. You've been wheeling and dealing. Talk to me, Phantom. What? Don't hold on to everybody else. Let's hear what the deals are. Okay, I had a Dynasty League. Just started the rookie draft, and it's been interesting. I passed on Judkins at 111, being that I had 201, and of course he got taken 112. I would have. Phantom, here's the thing. You can always at me in the Discord. I would have told you to take him at 111. Although I'm probably more bullish on Judkins despite the off the field stuff than most. But so what happened? I I guess let me ask you this: who did you take at 111, and then what did you do at 201? Let's hear what the COVID man has to say. Sick, but he's thinking clearly. KLS balled out during that Hall of Fame game, but I'm not touching any wide receiver not named Ladd in the Chargers room. Yeah, I mean that's probably true, and I think I still think there's some proving to be done if he's going to end up actually being if he can actually earn the number 2 role. Obviously Trey Harris there too. Took Golden. Okay, yeah, I can respect it. Matthew Golden. I would say there's probably a good chance if you didn't take Golden, that Golden would have won at the 112. Would you take it 201 then? And I've been starting to get inching my way higher and higher on Matthew Golden. I'm starting to become a believer, I think. So I can get behind that pick for sure. But what's going on with everybody else, man? I'm probably cool on the current market of both of these players. I picked up some KLS on the waiver wire. Nick got him and Fade the Fetal. I think it was for $15. Pretty sure I put a bid in, but did not get him. But trading like liquid draft capital in the future, I think I'm okay on for right now. Ooh, Jacob's got an interesting one. I'm being offered Zay Flowers and Nick Chubb for T. Higgins. Nah, I'm good. I'm good, my friend. The way I look at this is in a vacuum, right? In most leagues, which are going to be lineup start, 10, 11 or less. Nick Chubb is the piece here. Like, listen, I'm rooting for Nick Chubb, and I think he could definitely be the 1A in this backfield. It's definitely a real scenario. But what that's going to look like, how good he's going to be, how much juice he has left, it's not enough. He's not enough of a piece, right, in this deal, where I think Zay Flowers and T. Higgins are much more meaningful assets here to get me to pivot down to Zay Flowers from T, personally. I have them in a tier. Here's what I would say. I have a tier break between these two players. So the tier break is not – Nick Chubb doesn't warrant me tiering down to Zay Flowers. If you had them in the same tier, let's say, I could totally get behind this trade. But for me, having these guys in separate tier, like Nick Chubb is just not an asset that's meaningful enough in this deal. We don't even know what his role is going to be and how good he's going to look. It might be one thing if you told me Nick Chubb, like, he looks like 95% of old Nick Chubb. Like, okay, now maybe we have a totally different conversation. But it's just too much projection and theoretical for me to move off of my T personally. Okay. Oh, Phantom. Then I traded the 202. So you had 111, 201, and 202? Damn. Okay, so I traded the 202 using the 26 second and 308. Oh, you traded. I see. You moved your 26 second and the 308 to get up to 202. Got it. And you got Higgins. Okay, I like it. And 201. Oh, I see. I missed a whole thing here. 201. I traded away. So I see. Okay, you got Bigsby here. So you netted. So basically, to go from the 201 to 202, you net tank Bigsby. I definitely can get behind that. Unless like 201 was a player that really shouldn't have been there. Igbuka? Oh, Matt, my bad. I almost missed a don't forget the GOAT QJ. I mean, here's the thing. If Quentin Johnson is the wide receiver 2, in my personal estimation, everybody's losing. Everybody loses in this deal. So Trey Harris, KL, everybody. We've all lost. All right? GOAT. Now I feel disrespected when Matt calls me the GOAT, calling QJ the GOAT out here. All right, Igbuka and Trey Benson, or Caleb and Luther Burden. So I have Igbuka quite a bit ahead of both of those guys, personally. But Benson is I am so much lower on Benson, I think, than the large majority of gamers at this point. So I might be willing to take the 2 for 1. I might be willing to take the 2 for 1 here, Matt. What's the situation in this scenario though? Give me some specifics, because it's probably close. Yeah, I'm with you on this. Like, I don't actually hate the person. I don't hate the player. I hate the game. I'm not a believer, and I think James Conner this year is going to be just as much of a problem as he's been in years past. All right, so I got offered Josh Downs in an early 26 second for Zay Flowers and a 28. We're trading mid thirds in 2028. That's crazy. I mean, this one's kind of tough. I think Sun God. I don't know the settings. Is this 12 team, 10 team? How many starters we got? Half PPR. Okay, I was just gonna say, but well. They're similar archetypes. Like neither one of them are super high touchdown guys, and a little more PPR monsters. Half PPR probably just devalues them both. Like I think I'd probably be willing to take the 2-for-1 here, personally. And if you're bullish on Josh Downs, I think this is an easy one. So, I think I'd be willing to bet that they have similar production. I would obviously prefer Zay in a vacuum, probably by even a tier. But the 201 is no slouch pick, man. No matter what the settings are, I think. And I think on a contender like Zay Flowers, to me, the difference between him and Josh Downs doesn't make you like a super elite contender. So these are the type of moves I think I would take the early second in Josh Downs personally. And I mean, yeah, if he wants that mid third in 2028, more power to him. That's my personal estimation or opinion of the matter. I'm slotted for the 4th pick in my money league this season. Okay, been doing several mocks with Jefferson and Gibbs as my 104. What strategy would you choose in my spot? Okay, so this is this redraft? I mean, honestly, I think at the 104, Chase is obviously likely to be gone. I think so will Barkley. So I would definitely have one of these two next. I like Malik Neighbors a lot this year, but not ahead of these players. So, like, if you had 105 or 106, I might be willing to try to talk into Malik. Is it a full PPR? I think also don't sleep on Bijan. I still have Gibbs as my running back 1 in Dynasty, and I would say in redraft I would go Barkley, Gibbs, Bijan, but he's a monster in his own right too. Yeah, what are the scoring settings here, Caden? I'll give you my final opinion here. It's full PPR. I think I'm going Jefferson. If Jefferson's there, I think I would go Jefferson personally. Yep. It was Loveland that was picked there, but I had McBride. I'm not losing sleep about it, man. I'm not losing sleep about losing Loveland personally. Need some RB help in that league. Okay. Damn. Oh, you needed some RB help in that league, but you kind of were willing to risk it and lose it there with Quinshon. So you end up getting Golden, and you got that's all right. We always, this is what I always say: draft for value, trade for need later. So you got the value, you got Higgins, you got Golden. We can get some running backs going. As a matter of fact, if you want to have me pull up the lab and take a look at some stuff, we can talk shop, talk some deals. Let's see. All right, so it's a future value team. This is for that Benson deal. I messed up in the startup. I have a lousy team without my 26 first. So he's trying to down tier Ibuka to get more production now and later, so my pick isn't as early. I see. Damn. Here, I mean, if you're a truly a lousy team and you don't and it's a future value thing. But I'm all about kind of multiplying assets. I think that's the best and smartest move here. But I'm personally, I think what I would do if I was you is try to stomach your Trey Benson hate, right? Wait until he gets some run, or hopefully gets some run. You got to hope that happens. Looks good. And then I think there's a scenario where Trey Benson in those moments for this type of a team, you could probably put him on the block. I mean, if you wanted to ride his production and see if you can contend. But like one of the things, I guess, here's what I will say. What I'm trying to get to in the big picture here. If I'm a crusty contender and I actually can contend, that's fine. Of course, I don't want to give somebody an early pick if I have control to make it later. But if my team is truly lousy, like what I don't want to do is kind of wreck my future team trying to make this year better to kind of screw someone else's value up with that pick. Like, that pick is gone. It's almost like sunk cost fallacy in a way, right? So if you're truly like a team that's future value, like that 26 first, there's not really much you can do about it, right? You don't own it. Don't worry about it for now, and just keep making the moves that are best for you. I think there's a very good chance that Ibuka ends up being one of the players and staples that you want to have as a wide receiver in Dynasty really soon. By the end of this year, possibly like a top, he's already probably top 20, like top 15-ish type Dynasty asset, 20-ish for sure. So I think I'd probably hold your side and try to move Benson at the right time. All right, he says, yeah, you said they were rough, huh? So we got Tajay Spears, Chase Brown as starter. I mean, Chase Brown's great as a starter. You got Bigsby now. Yep. Yeah. Oh, would have been nice to get Sampson and Judkins, honestly. Yeah, we might, Phantom, we might need to. If you want to, I can pull up the lab. We can try to see what we can work out as far as trading. Like, here's what I will say. If I'm built really well everywhere else, like my quarterbacks are great in Superflex, I've got really strong receiver room, decent enough tight end, I'm okay only having one running back, but I would also like my running back 2 to be better than Tajay Spears by quite a bit. So, like in Fade the Fetal, for example, I had a similar situation to this, not quite as bad, but I only had Gibbs, and then my running back 2 was very meh. So I made a trade for Tony Pollard. I sent a second for Tony Pollard. Like something like that maybe to patchwork this together, I think is a real possibility. So you don't have to tear into all your assets trying to fix the running back room. Obviously, if you could do that, that'd be great, and if it made sense. But let me know what the league is, and we can try to talk it out. Dude, this Devy Dynasty startup has been wild. It's the 10th round, and Terry hasn't even been picked yet. Listen, man, I try to tell you this in the Discord. By the way, shout out to, if you're watching this, go check out the Big Dogs. Become a Big Dog member. You can @ me, talk with Matt Higgins, any of us in the Discord. Always having good discussions. When I'm in Devy leagues, if you're playing in that format, it feels like it's already kind of driven to people that are going to be arrowing and moving pretty heavily to that like youth movement, right? Starting to overvalue younger players and Devy players, which are college players, for those that don't know, right? So in Devy, you're just, instead of drafting the rookies, you actually are getting college players in that format. So by the time the draft picks become, future picks that you're using, a lot of times they're not actually that valuable because you already are owning so many of the different college players. But yeah, Terry being this is a combination, I think, of people buying into the trade rumors, and that's, it's kind of crazy, honestly. I could see it maybe in the 8th, but in the 10th, I hope you go up and get him, Matt. It's about time you get him off the board, buddy. Hey, I'm in a redraft half PPR league. I got the 107. We run keepers, so Malik and Nico not available. Okay, stuck between Puka or CD. Would you go Gibbs over both if he falls? Half PPR, I would go Gibbs ahead of Puka and CD Lamb. Yes. Here's what I would say. I prefer CD to Puka, but I wouldn't get like overly. I wouldn't fret either way. Like both of these options are great. I think. There's some narratives out there between both the addition of George Pickens and the addition of Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams being rated higher than Puka. What are we doing in Madden? I don't know. That's a whole other thing. But I'm not worried about either one. I think these are both elite players. I think for this year, just go back. Like, to me, if Dak can have a bounce back season, the Cowboys as a whole have a little bit of a better season. Go back to 2023, the tail end of 2023. CD was on literally a pace that we've never seen before. You can go back to the South Harmon YouTube video if you want to watch my breakdown of this. But for after the bye, he was on a torrid pace. Like, literally would have broken every single record. So CD to me is not that far off from still being like truly wide receiver 1, Dynasty, and redraft again. So CD would be I would go Gibbs first, CD second, Puka following. But whichever one of these players, all three of those players, I think are going to have damn good fucking seasons this season. So you're in a good shape. You're in great shape, my friend. All right, the new league voted to keep the vets and rookie draft separate league choice. Okay, hey, I don't have a problem with this personally, as long as the league personally votes on it. I like to combine them on my own. That's my own personal opinion, but if the league's all for it, like, keep them separate. That's cool. I took pick 10, so I'll take the wraparound and the free Genty. Oh, nice. There you go. There you go. So it's a 10-team league. You got the last pick. Yeah, I think that's smart, man. I think that's really smart. Because it basically, I think we were talking about this a little while ago. Not probably more than a little while ago, but yeah, you secure that 10 spot, right? You basically get an additional pick 10 by getting that 101 now. So I think that was the play for sure. Well done. Let's pull up the lab. All right, my friend. I got you. Is it Phantom Bowling? Let's see. Okay, DQ Sharks on Sleeper. Let's do it. Let's pull it up, man. Let's show the people what you're working with. I love what I'm hearing and seeing. So let's go get into it. So, all right, we're in there. Yes, sir. Let's take a look at the leagues for DQ Sharks. All right. And you said it is – I have a great team other than running backs. Love to hear this. Which league is it, by the way? I probably could end up finding it, but let's see. Just go ahead. So it's not this one. Not this one. Not this one. There it is. Found it. See? Oh, but he came just as I found it. All right. Fantasy League All-Stars. So this is the lab. It's a free tool. It's a South Harmon tool, but I love using it because it gives access to all kinds of basically it just uses Sleeper's API, which is free information. It pulls it so that you can kind of see the entirety of the league, the team, all the different dynamics in it. A lot of cool things you can do here. But so if I'm taking a look at your team, right, we got Patrick Mahomes, Chase Brown, Tank Bigsby. There's the elite running back room that we talked about. It's kind of crazy actually in that trade that you picked up your running back too. Now, granted, this isn't necessarily what you have as your starting lineup. This is just organized by Keep Trade Cuts values at the moment. BTJ, Rashee Rice, Brandon Ayuk, Trey McBride, Jennings, Tajay, and we got Goff and Bryce Young. All right, let's see what we got on the bench here. Okay, yeah, it's a solid ass team. Now, is the draft like not all the way completed because these picks are still out there? That's kind of what I imagine. You're finishing it up. So you're down your 26 first. You got all your 27 picks. Okay. All right, so let's see what we got here. I mean, we're starting 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're starting 10. This one's interesting. I think that a couple ways I would potentially try to get some value into some of these extra spots, right? Because I think Juwan Jennings and Tajay Spears, Tank Bigsby, these three spots, right? Your running back 2 and your last 2 flex spots are definitely iffy. McMillan, possibly a little valuable player that we could throw into some deals. But I think, oh man, I think what I would like to do in a perfect world is potentially tear down from Patrick Mahomes. I don't know in this league if that is realistic. Patrick Mahomes' value seems to be all over the place. I've seen some people that still really value Mahomes, draft him in the first round of startups, and I've seen some people that won't give you jack shit in a trade. But if I could basically tear down from like Mahomes, I'm thinking down to someone like a McCarthy to actually pick up some extra value. Trevor Lawrence, somebody in that range, Cam Ward, whoever it might be. They're not going to score like Mahomes necessarily in year one, but I think there's an outside chance that they do. But you'd be able to pick up some extra value. And then I really don't want to tear down from BTJ, but it's not like there's a lot of other options. I think, honestly, Trey McBride might be a luxury piece here, too. As much as I do like having a good tight end like McBride, I don't know what the premium is here. What's the tight end premium here, Phantom? But I'd imagine Trey McBride would be I would like to probably move off of his value if I could put that into something else on this team. Paying down your 26 first, wanting to compete here. I think I think those are some moves I'm looking to make. All right, let's see who. Have you had any discussions with any players in this league? Oh, no premium? Damn. Yeah, I think I definitely would like to move off of McBride if I could. Yeah, Jacob, I'll get you queued up next. No worries, buddy. You are next in line, my friend. I got you. Yeah, so with no tight end premium, I mean, I would love to see if I could pivot Trey McBride's value into a different into receivers, tight running backs, potentially even, or a combination. Have you had any talks, or do you have like better rapport with other people in this league? Basically good starting points to look at. I'm going to go through all these teams here for us just to get some ideas going, but maybe you have some rapport going with certain managers. Let's take a look at the bottom and see if there's anybody we could pluck early. Damn, this team's at the bottom. This is rough. He does have his picks. It doesn't like this player doesn't seem like he knows it or he's aware yet that he's gonna probably end up being in a pretty big rebuild. Whew, Matthew Stafford and no other quarterback. Yeah, I don't know if this person thinks he's contending or not, but if he thinks he's needs to rebuild, Tony Pollard is I think a really good target, but Montgomery, if he's similar cost, I'd prefer to have Montgomery there. If this person thinks he's not rebuilding, shit, I'd be willing to grab his 26 first off of him, potentially, and move some of my players to him. Let's see. Okay. Ugh. This is a league where everybody thinks they're contending, don't they? Yeah, I think so. This team's solid enough, but definitely not great. Yuck. I don't think. I'd be willing to send a second for James Conner too, honestly, if they're willing to part with him. But this team looks like they think they're contending as well. CMC, AJ Brown, Mike Evans, Russell Wilson at Superflex. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. If you guys haven't seen that Giants schedule, I don't think there's a chance in the world that Russ makes it through the entire season as a starter. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, this team doesn't really have any guys. Like I really personally wouldn't even really be wanting to buy Etienne or Robinson. Jonathan Brooks in the Superflex spot. Yeah, these teams are doo-doo. All right, let's try to look somewhere else. What is this Gray Boy? Gray Boy 678. Let's see what Gray Boy 678 has. Ooh. All right, this team does not look like it's contending at all, but I don't know if he knows it. Phantom, let me see what he's got here. Most of the other teams don't really talk too much for trades. Only really okay, so here we go. This is what we need to do. JK Productions, Jay Carter, and Anthony Mott. All right. Let's just go to these spots then. Damn. Here's a nice spot, nice potential. Not Trey Benson, but Bucky Irving or Devon Achane would be good targets. They might be too high, though, for what you have on your team. I feel like Rashee Rice, I might be willing to do that, like Rashee for either one of those guys, straight up. I feel like he probably, with all the stuff off the field that just happened, people might not be as willing to trade for him as they once were. Jay Carter and Anthony. Where's Anthony? Anthony Mott. Am I tripping? Maybe it was lower when I wasn't. Okay, Anthony Mott. Here we go. I feel like this was the team that didn't have any. Yeah, this team didn't have any good running back targets, though. That sucks. Okay. And the other team was Jay Carter. Let's see what Jay Carter's team's working with. Not a lot of running backs, but I was going to just say, like, if he doesn't have Brock Bowers, it would be great to try to see if we could shop Trey McBride here. Maybe we go back to, JK Productions has TJ Hawkinson. Does Anthony Mott, here you go. Do you have a backup tight end at all? Probably not, huh? Which is smart, but oh yeah, Johnny Smith now. Yuck. Yeah, because I don't know. You don't want to grab Pat Freiermuth and have the combo of Johnny Smith and Pat Freiermuth. I don't think either. I think. I know there's a lot of hype going to Jordan Mason, but I still think I'd be willing to send a second for Aaron Jones on with your team. So that's a possibility. I don't know if he's if you'd prefer to get a different player or asset. But I think that would be one I would definitely be looking to try to do as I'm looking off the rip here. Phantom. Okay, we got, wait a second. Let me see what else you said here. A Metcalf wanted BTJ McBride in my 26. What the fuck? Hell no. Like, BTJ and Gibbs are close, honestly. If you told me that you needed to throw a little something on BTJ, like a second, I could see it. BTJ in a first is BTJ in a first I'd rather have than Gibbs already. And McBride, like, yeah, nah. So yeah, A Metcalf's up to that's outrageous. But I mean, some people just have really way too high values. What about Chuba Hubbard? I mean, if he's willing to talk, you might as well just see what would Chuba cost. I would send a second for Chuba too. I don't know if that gets it done, but I guess just honestly just to test out, is this person just way too high on Jahmyr Gibbs, or is this person just literally looking to tax that ass? Dang. Oof. That's tough. I mean, it's not crazy because, like, Rashi's probably not worth 2 firsts, but just shy of that, maybe a first and 2 seconds. And I would still much rather have McBride than Hawk. So it feels a little pricey, but it's not that bad. That dude's unrealistic for RBs. Okay, then just leave the running backs alone then from him. I think I would just test, like, see what Aaron Jones might cost from him, from Jay Carter. I might just see what this person would be looking for A-Chain and Bucky Irving. If I could put Rashee Rice in the mix, I might be willing to do that for either one of those pieces. I don't know. With Rashee Rice's news cycle, I kind of doubt that happens. But just kind of test the waters and see what – I don't know if you want to – whatever your style is. You want to heart the player or you want to just, hit him in the DMs. What are you looking for? What would a trade look like for A-Chain or for Irving? You being down your pick makes it a little more difficult to – normally I would just try to lob in like a first and a second or a first and a couple seconds for one of those players and kind of just test the – have that be a starting offer that's close enough to where you'll get some kind of feedback. But I think there's a few different ways you could try to go make a deal like that happen. Traded away Addison in 209 for 203 and some no-name receiver. Oh, wow. So you're saying this guy, which was who? You saying A Metcalf is just all about running backs? Well, shit, I mean, I know it's against. So here's the thing, right? I talk about sometimes going further away from my roster construction with the idea of getting back to ideally what I need to in my roster construction. So unless this is like a crazy scoring setting league where like the warp tool would say the running backs are hyper valuable, like what I would try to do maybe here is then say, okay, well, if that's the case, like, for example, can Chase Brown get you to Drake London and then kind of almost play into the this skewed mindset that you know that this person has. And I know it seems crazy because you only have right now Chase Brown, and this would take you down to like no running backs. But now you're looking at Drake London, BTJ, Rashee Rice, and I can move assets. We still have over a month, right, before the season starts. So you still have plenty of time to make moves. And I think that's something I would if you think this is true, where he really overvalues running backs, I would 100% kick the tires on that. My midlife team a little rough, but I have 3 first next year, including my own. Okay, this is a different league. All right, well here, so we'll check out Midlife Crisis in a minute, but Jacob, I know you've been waiting, so let's let Jacob get some shine. Jacob, what's your username? And then we will come back to you, Phantom. We could check out either one of these, your Dynasty team, your Dynasty, or Midlife Crisis in a minute. Jacob, if you're still with us, okay, here we go. Here he is. He's on deck. Ready to go. He had the donut was on the bat. Now he's dropping it off. Jay Kittner. 98. Boom. All right, and while this is loading, rate the running back room out of 10. Jonathan Taylor, Omarion Hampton, Singleton, and Frazier. Okay. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8. 7.5, 8. Solid. Potential upside. Probably didn't cost you an arm and a leg. Yeah, I'll give it like a 7.5, 8. Okay, so back to Dalton loves Scooby. Got you. I got you, pimp. Dalton loves Cam Scooby-Doo. All right, so this is the team where, hold on. Am I tripping? I thought you said you needed running backs. So my man's sitting here with Gibbs and Saquon. Holy hell. Well, I don't know that you need running backs in this league, frankly. And you got Quinshon down there. You only got to start 2. Only 1 flex, so you can only start 3. You got Mixon. Oh, this is the league you're talking about with Mixon. Okay. I mean, I think you kind of, with a team like this, just have to wait it out with Mixon, probably. There's probably not a lot of offers going to be coming for him that are high. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't expect you to end up getting Frazier when we were talking through it, but I think it's smart. I don't know that I would have taken Frazier ahead of Terry, but what's done is done. When I look at your team, though, here, Jacob, I mean, first of all, you have, like in Superflex, where is this start 9 too? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I mean, listen, start 9 Superflex, and you are juicing Lamar and Jalen Hurts in there, rushing style Konami code guys. That's a cheat code already. Then Gibbs and Saquon is ridiculous, and I'm okay, honestly, rolling T. Higgins, Terry McLaurin as my 1 and 2, and Matthew Golden even as my 3 if I'm looking at like this. I do see what you mean, though. But, I mean, look, you could throw Evans or Ridley in there pretty easily still in the Superflex spot while we're waiting on what's going to happen with Quinshon. So, like, I'm not panicked about this team at all, personally. You also got Fields in the fucking – damn, my man has the Konami code mindset ready to roll. Now, I'd like this team quite a bit, frankly. The way I'm thinking about it, if anything, I might be looking to possibly upgrade a receiver spot, right? Like, I'm cool almost rolling Evans in there weekly and Matthew Golden being more of an upside play in the flex position, or letting Calvin Ridley go into that spot, or Brandon Ayuk even. I think you're in great shape, man. But if anything, I'd be looking to probably upgrade the receivers as opposed to the running backs at the moment. But, I mean, it all depends on, trade targets and cost. Is there anybody you've been having talks with? I just didn't know if I needed to buy low on an RB3, depending on how Mixon is. I mean, there's not going to be bye weeks until whatever it is, week 5 or 6. So, assuming, knock on wood, injuries, like, set it and forget it, Gibbs, Saquon, 1 and 2, like, we're good. Like, I don't feel like I need to get another running back, honestly, at the moment. Right now, I really don't. Because to your point here with the running back 3, like, to me, if I was going to be buying a running back 3 right now, it would need to be someone that is locked into a flex spot for me. Like, I don't want to buy a speculative running back 3 to not need to start him on a weekly basis. So I guess it would depend on what realistically you can get. Also, do you have your picks? Oh, nice. And you got an extra 26. All right. I like what we're working with here. Oh, you sent your 27 away, though. Okay. Which is okay. Are there people that my question is going to be, since you have an extra 26 pick, are there people kind of stockpiling picks? This person might be kind of in the middle. I see as an extra pick. Like, I mean, I guess here's what I'm saying. Can you get a Jacobs? Can you get, Trevion? But that's probably going to cost you way too much. Like I'd be okay going to get a true stud with this team, but like what I don't want to spend. I don't want to pay up for, like, for example, I don't really want to pay up for a Kenneth Walker on this team, right? I don't want to pay up for someone that might be kind of just mid. And a lineup start 9, I think you're better off going with more of a studs and duds approach like you have now, right? Where you got a lot of the high-end studs, and you might not love some of the flex spots. And if they dud out for you, that's okay. But I'm looking to tier up and get high-valued assets if possible. So, yeah, these people probably aren't looking to trade much. Let me just see it towards the bottom if anybody has. I don't really love. I'll be honest. I'm not loving paying up for Kyron right now, honestly, either. So let's see what we have here. Team 10. Yikes! Not gonna be your partner. I mean, like, what about Achan? I don't know if this person is thinking they're rebuilding or not. They don't really have many extra picks. They got a couple extra thirds. They've already sent their 27 first away, so no, they don't think they're probably rebuilding. But yeah, I'm looking to buy somebody higher, and I don't know that at this point that these teams look like they're going to just be bowing out yet. The guy rated second loves talking trades. Here we go. I have the most middle of the pack wide receiver room, and that's okay though. I mean. T, I don't know if I would say that necessarily. T is, I'd probably love to see T as my wide receiver 2. But if you told me that T's your 1 and Terry's your 2, I got no issue with that. And Mike Evans is your 3. Like, that's not, I don't think that's actually that mid. It just doesn't feel that sexy because it's Dynasty, right? I think for redraft purposes, it's fine. For what it's worth, I expect the Terry McLaurin thing to end up working out and him being on the field. I don't love that he's missing some time right now. Exactly. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I think that you do have studs. You just don't have the young, sexy dynasty assets, right? Like T. Higgins, Terry McLaurin, and Mike Evans all still, I think, have wide receiver 1 in their range of outcomes and scoring. You just don't have the young, sexy allure of the yeah, I'm good on that offer. By the way, you just said the second person. Let me take a look at this guy. Garrett Wilson's a interesting one because some people value him really highly, some people don't. So I'm curious what he might think of that. I think Garrett Wilson would be someone I would test the waters on, frankly. Does he have picks or what's his deal? Yeah, I mean, I don't know, though. This is also the person that was trying. See, he's trying to sell you Zay Flowers and Nick Chubb, 2 of his bench players for your T. Nah. Can't do that. My guess is he probably is valuing. He probably would value a guy like Garrett Wilson pretty highly. He has. I see. He's moved his own. I see. He's playing the smartly. Is that the last place person? Damn. Yeah, he's playing 4D chess with the draft picks. I would test him out on Garrett Wilson. See what that costs. Garrett is on the higher end. Yeah. But I mean, I'd be willing to pay up for Garrett, honestly. For example, like with your team, with your team that you have, I'd probably be willing to send 2 first for him. Although Little D's first is early. I never mind. I remember going over this review now. You have potentially like a 101 draft pick here. Yeah, I think I'm still holding on, man. I think I'm still holding on to let that draft pick be your joker card, your ace in the back pocket, so to speak. So yeah, I'm holding on to that. Oh, for real? That just happened right now? Damn. Hopefully not too bad. I actually don't have a lot of Cam Scatterbo, but I'm never rooting for somebody to get hurt. So I guess, yeah, I would say, so if just like some targets for that late first, I don't know if that late first would get you Jake. Like if you threw in your first here for Jacobs, I don't know if that would get it done. I would throw that out there, just see what he says. It's probably a little light, but might get the conversation, the ball rolling, started. I would throw that out there for Trevion, although it's almost certainly not going to get it done. Achan's an interesting one. honestly, I think I might do that. I might just start right now with throwing out that first for Josh Jacobs and seeing what that looks like. Seeing if either he's willing to give you a different asset for the first, or if you're close enough, you need to add something light to that. I think that's what I'd probably start off doing, because Jacobs is a high enough asset and a good enough player that I could put him into my flex spot. I'd probably be willing to add to it if it push came to shove. Maybe not a whole lot. Do you have a second? Of course you don't. Damn, not till 2028. I mean, I would add a 2028 second, but a player in the second range I would probably add to it as well if that's what it needed to push the deal over the top. Someone in the the Ridley range, something like that. No movement on Rome. Yeah, I remember we were talking about Rome. That's all right. Worth the shot. So was it Phantom? I believe. Matt, if you want to have a team, if you're here still with us, Matt, and you got a team you want me to look at, I'll pull it up. If not Phantom, I think we were looking at yours. You said, Dynasty. You tell me which one you want though, Phantom. You want me to look at the rough one, the midlife crisis, or do you want me to look at the Jacob? Let me just say too, by the way, appreciate you, Jacob, but it's it's August. If we can't get anything done, sometimes patience is a virtue, Yes, sir. All right, let me know which one you want, Phantom, and we'll get it cracking. DQ Sharks, right? Matt, if you're still here, I'll stay a little longer this time since I missed last week if needed. Put everybody on. Put everybody on for us. Why did it say DD Sharks when I said DQ? Probably my ass can't type. Oh, nice. Yeah, go ahead, Matt. Send me the link in Discord, and I'll see if I can pull it up, the draft board. Okay, you want midlife? Cool. All right, let's take a look here. So you're in a rebuild, which, I mean, listen, if you already know you're in a rebuild, like, you having a team in rough shape is honestly not a problem anymore, especially if you have your own picks. So you're dead last as far as keep trades cut starting value by quite a bit, honestly. Got your own picks. Oh, damn. Was this an orphan, or did somebody get you for that 27 first? That's tough. That part sucks. That part definitely sucks. Let's take a look at this team here. We are now I see where the crisis comes from in this league name. Okay. So you got Rashi, Rice, and Rome. I think if Rome takes a step forward and does anywhere near what I think he's capable this year, those are going to be very good wide receiver 1 and 2. You're empty at the running back spot, which is perfectly fine given you're in a rebuild. Yeah, I mean, it's only one quarterback too? Okay. All right, it's only one QB. Damn. Oh, I hate not having your 27, my guy. I hate it so much with this team because it's like the rebuild. It's like you can't tear it down to the studs without having that, because that 27 first is literally, if it's early, it's worth its weight in gold. So X Craig, and we got the Funky Junkie. All right, so the thing about one quarterback though is that is weird, but in one quarterback league versus Superflex, in Superflex I almost lean the pick over the player the large majority of times. In one quarterback, it's almost the opposite. Outside of the early picks, I tend to lean players because there's not the quarterback upside in those to kind of push players down the board. A lot of times those later first-round picks are a little more meh. This is 10-team or 12-team? 12-team, okay. Yeah, I think at this point, what I'm doing with a team like this is, it's probably going to be tough, but if Jaden Reed starts off hot or has, those couple weeks of boom type things and his market picks back up, I'd be looking to unload him for sure if you can get it first. Honestly, maybe even for a couple of seconds, maybe just to get the points off. I'm not really worried about your running back room. But, yeah, if Jalen Wright all your running backs, if they have some buyers interested, willing to sell. If Nick Chubb takes the RB1 spot, let's let it ride. But, I mean, kind of with a team like this, keeping a guy like Rashee Rice, keeping Rome, keeping some of those primary assets, adding these 3 picks or whatever else you can add to your pick room next year so that at least your team is kind of mid or on the upswing for 2027. You still have other picks in 2027, and hopefully by 2028 you're going to be kind of back in the contending spot. But being down the 27 early first, being down the 27 first makes me not want to make it an early pick, and kind of keep just some younger, kind of build the value on some younger core players. So I think you're fine. It's just definitely not as nice as knowing you could go like with a team like this. I think you could have easily controlled getting a Jeremiah Smith, but that's gone, long gone, I'd imagine by now. And typically to buy your pick back in a situation like this is just going to be way too cost. It's going to cost you too much. Someone's going to try to get you to pay more than it's worth. So, what's up, big dogs? What's up, man? How you doing? How are we doing today? Okay, I had messed up. It was my first ever Dynasty League. I traded away all my picks during the startup. I didn't get my 27 back, but I traded it for a 26 first straight up. Okay, gotcha. I mean, yeah, I get it. I completely can understand how it's like, oh, damn, this is the situation you're in. I would say it's one of those things where you have the ability, if you were to get it back, to make it one of the best assets in one quarterback. Like Jeremiah Smith is going to be in the conversation for one of the best assets in Dynasty in this format, period. So, I mean, I would definitely be kicking the can on what it would cost, but just know someone's going to be trying to kick your teeth in for it. So this would be one of those things, Phantom, I would say, kind of let me know, go kind of see what it would cost, come begging, and let me know in the Discord, tag me what it's going to cost and what are some of the options that you have. It could be one of those things where it's worth kind of, so to speak, overpaying just to lock in that 101, but there's also a chance where if he's asking too much, you just let him have it and we make this team mid for 2027. What's going on though, my friend? Appreciate you hopping in. Let's see. When you look at the Devy draft board, if you want to know which kicker is which, Devy, just let me know. Okay. Oh, did you send me that in Discord? Let me pull this up here. I'll tell you what, we're about in an hour. So, Maddie, I'll tell you what, I'm going to pull this up next Saturday for us, if that's cool. And I'll kind of go, there'll be more there, and we can kind of look at the board as a whole. We'll maybe start it off with the Devy, and kind of give an idea for people in Dynasty where some of these, 26, 27, 28 college prospects are being valued at the moment. And there'll be more information. We'll have like where Terry goes, all that type of stuff. So I'm going to pin this in my comments and we'll pull it up for next week. My man. Sounds good to me. My man. All right. He probably won't let it go. He wanted a bunch. Okay. So he's hoarding 27. Yeah. Well, he's not going to let it go then. Probably for anything. Which person is it? I mean, it's smart. It's very smart what you're doing. Whew. So you're telling me he's not even one of the worst teams? Yikes. Oh, yeah. There it is. Yeah, I mean, he's got 2 legitimate shots at Ryan Williams and Jeremiah Smith right now in JK Productions and DQ Sharks. That's tough. If he gets this team, St. Cross X, he's got the Infinity Stones. King Craig's a savage. It's Debo. King Craig, yeah, Debo. Yeah, it's tough. You hate to see it. Yeah, but let me know. Go ask him. Like you said, he may tell you no or tell you that it's like absolutely way too much value. But go make the ask, and then we'll we'll see if it's worth potentially overpaying to do so. But I appreciate all you guys hopping in, man. It was good to be back this week. Missed last week, again, traveling in New York from New York, the office back to Ohio, but it feels like the season is right around the corner. Football's back. I would just say this: be extremely cautious. Don't buy into the hype and overpay for. Like, I've literally seen Trey Lance go for a second now in Superflex leagues. I've seen people paying for KLS like a couple of thirds. I haven't seen a second yet, but it's nice to see, you know, players like that do well in the preseason. But it's the preseason. Just chillax a little bit. So don't go chasing waterfalls. Don't go paying too much for these players. But I'll be back here, same time, same place next week. We'll talk a little bit of the Devy. We'll talk a little bit about Matt's Devy draft, kind of give you an idea of what college players are going where in a Devy draft, what that looks like. Kind of give you a little bit of the future cast on 26, 27, 20, 28. And as always, we'll get into your questions. Make sure you go hit up bdge.co if you enjoyed watching some of this through and just getting some of the questions. If you want to be a part of the Q&A every single Saturday, make sure you go check out bdge.co. Otherwise, I'll see you back here, same time, same place next week. Love you, big dogs. We're out of here. Peace.